Grant, there's different camps of opinion in terms of this. Some people say that you know, it was terribly offensive and it was awful and it shouldn't have happened. Some people say that what she said was it was misguided, but she was only trying to be friendly and it was no malice was intended. Some people are saying, well, I don't really see that she said anything wrong at all. Which camp are you in out of those three?
It's really interesting because even my social media, I've also been sharing about what's been going on, and it's turning into a huge debate. Massive debate, and it is, as you said, it's almost like a 50-50. There's a camp for and against. From my point of view, what's really difficult, one, I knew Lady Susan when I worked at the Palace. I know what a kind lady she is. I've never witnessed anything, you know, when people say she's racist, I've never witnessed that, personally. The problem is, when you do that job, when you accompany a member of the royal family, you get the details about who you're meeting, background, and then they normally meet them before the royal meets them. So it's not unusual to kind of ask a couple of questions. It's not unusual at all. This has obviously gone, for whatever reason, has gone badly wrong, which is why the Palace have obviously put a statement, Prince of Wales has obviously put a statement out, and it's highly embarrassing. And I've been speaking to many friends about it who take both sides, and I think a lot of people do feel that it's a bit extreme that she's had to lose a job because of this, but at the same time there'll be people there who feel that's maybe not enough. So it's a really difficult one. But as a friend when I was a friend of Lady Susan and knew her, I really feel for her. I really do. There
will be people who say, well, you know, Meghan always said that she encountered sort of racism and casual racism in Buckingham Palace. Does this give greater credence to what Meghan used to say, that people used to poo-poo?
Do you know what's difficult is over the years, I mean, you have to, historically, there has been obviously racism cases, there's been discussions, there's right down to when a member of the royal family had a brooch on. There's been different discussions over the years. I think nobody can say that there's. I think you couldn't go in there and say, well, there's no racism at all. I think that's an impossibility in today's society, and sadly, there's always discrimination and racism that takes place. I think it's how you address it and how you deal with it, and I think that's the important part for the royal family, because they are now going forward a modern royal family, and it's a big household, huge household, so they've got to be really.
I mean, you know, whatever, you know, and as you say, there's different camps. It was a very unfortunate gaffe. It was wrong, and it was a mistake. But I want to look now too, following on from what Philip said about Meghan and Harry.
Yes.
They've now decided to release their advert, as it were, for their Netflix sort of series of documentaries. Was this a coincidence? It was dropped at the same time as Will's and Kate being in America, or was this a deliberate, you know, doing it at the same time to knock them off course as they're in the States?
The timing is extraordinary. I don't think it's deliberately done, but you never know. I don't think it's been done. I think the timing.
See, you're such a diplomat, Lady. That's why you're a butler. If only Lady Hussey had been as diplomatic as you. But seriously, though, looking at it, you know,
it's not great. It's really good, and I do feel for the Princess of Wales. Obviously, again, I worked for them. I knew them. You know, this is an important reason. Obviously, their shot prize while they're out in Boston, and it has been overshadowed without question. I mean, you pick up the papers, and it's either about obviously what's happened at the Palace the other day, or about the Netflix programme.